and I hope that we've had a good week. We shall wait for a few people to hop on. Very good. It has been a very, very interesting week. We've got a few things to talk about tonight, about what's been going on out there around the world. So a couple of things that have come to my attention, a couple of things that I want to give my opinion on for the family. There we go. Very good indeed. For those that are tuning in, waiting on us to get started, we talk about life, the universe, and everything. All things outside the norm. Open conversation. That's what I do here. It's on my YouTube page. So we'll just wait for it to kick in a little bit. Here we go. Hello, everybody. Those who are joining, how are we going? Good to see you. Sunday night here in sunny Melbourne, Australia. For those who have seen me before, I'm Craig. For those who have not seen me before, I'm Craig. I have not changed. Hello to you all. Here we all come on. Thea and Mohammed and Emmy and Cookie Monster and Nelly. Happy Easter to you all. Passport, India, Money Mojo. Hello. Thea, hi. Everybody, all welcome. I hope you have had a wonderful holidays over the weekend. Rex, how are you going? I hope that everyone's been getting lots of eggs, lots of chocolates, things that they want for themselves. All good. Hope you've all seen your families and caught up with family, because for me, any type of holiday is a good time to connect with family that you don't get to see all the time. That's very, very important. Oh, no worries there. I'm not always that good. Let's be totally honest here. Appreciate you. So that's the thing, guys. Family, people we care about, happy days. Alyssa, happy Easter. I hope everyone's settling in. I've got a couple of things to talk about tonight that have been happening out there on the tubes, and different things that are coming to the surface out there in the world that have sparked my curiosity and my interest. I hope you are all doing extremely well. I hope your lives are moving in a positive direction. Stray Kids, how you going? Thank you, Thea. Appreciate you. You know, so for those who have seen me before, listened before, I am a glass half full individual. I am someone that wants to put out positive vibes to the world. I think that, individuals are more in control of their lives and their reality than they realize. I think a positive mindset is how we go a long way to transforming our lives in a positive way. So, we'll get into that as we go forward into our conversation. For those who have seen me before or have not, should I say again, Sunday night is a live night that I'm doing on a regular basis. So this time slot, I'll always be jumping on to make sure there's a regular time slot that everyone knows. Oh, Craig jumps on Australia Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday night. Basically, that's the idea there. Positive vibes, right? What you put out is what you get back. So why act frustrated and upset and angry about things when that's what's going to come back to yourself if you act like that? So, there we go. So, look, there's a couple of things. Look, J4X, I'll be very, very open and honest, as I always am. I see myself as a very authentic individual. I do believe Jesus existed. I'm not a religious individual, though. I'm more of the metaphysical thinking, positive individual. So I'm very much a person that believes what we put out is what comes back, that we have a say in our lives, and empowering yourself, for me, is a very important thing for individuals to wake up to, that you actually have a say in what goes on. Most of us have never been taught that stuff. Most of us don't understand the power of our thoughts and our comments and our actions, and that what we decide in those spaces goes a long way to transforming your world. So, thank you, Thea. So here we go. So one of the things that's popped up this week, and you won't all have heard of this guy. There's an individual out there on the tubes. His name's J4X. I'll just read what you've written there. I believe Oh, mate. Well, you're pretty much on the money with how I look at it, J4X. So hang out and listen to my conversations, because he was a man. I believe he was a very connected individual with himself. So I'll roll into this, right? So a lot of people religious people believe that, at the end of times, Jesus will come back and save all the believers. I believe that at some point in our future that we will awaken to who we really are, that the veil of life will be taken away, or the veil of what we stopping ourselves knowing who we really are will be unblocked, and we'll reconnect with who we are. So yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for starting to focus on ourselves. So I want to get back to what I was going to talk about tonight, though. So enjoy that conversation. And if you haven't checked out some of my videos, I've got a lot of them out there. I've just posted things the way I see certain things. So feel free to look at. Always take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. I'm a big believer in that as well. We are individuals. We are on our own journey. So please take the things that make sense to you now. Hopefully there are some things that I talk about that help each individual answer their own questions. So here we go. Chris Bledsoe. I don't know how many of you have heard of that name. But Chris Bledsoe is an individual. I'll give you the basics of what I know and what I've listened to. So basically, he is a guy that was a pilot back in the mid or early 2000s who had an encounter. He says that he had an experience where he was out fishing with friends and his son, and they had some orbs appear. Big orbs appeared in the bush over the lake, and then started following them. And long story short, they all thought that they were all quite fearful. They all took off out of there, didn't know, what to do. Didn't know what it was. He didn't believe in extraterrestrials. After a week or so, and I'm cutting corners here like you wouldn't believe about this story, but he basically had come to him a being changed from an orb into a being connecting with him, and told him some things that would happen in the future. He spoken about, that this lady in white told him about things that would happen in the year 2026 and actually April 2026. Now, the funny thing, the reason that he's come up on the tubes is that the predictions that were told to the world in the mid-2000s by him from this encounter actually stated that when Iran and Israel were firing rockets at each other, certain things would happen, and orbs would rise up, and there would be an awakening of humanity, that the orbs would help stop the conflict, and there would be awakening. And this supposedly was supposed to happen in April 2026. Now, he didn't know that Israel and Iran would start fighting a few weeks before April 2026. So mind-blowing that there's a lot of the things that in this prediction, in this premonition, let's say, or not really a premonition, but a being that's told him this about the future, a lot of these things have happened. And supposedly the next phase is orbs coming up and I don't know what, awakening humanity, making us realize that we're more than who we are, right? I think you take it as you want, but the story of Chris Bledsoe, so if you're interested in checking it out, because you'll get all the details there, because I don't know bits and pieces, BLEDSOE, I think it's Bledsoe or Bledsoe, SOE, yeah, Bledsoe. Chris, is worth checking it out. It's a very, very interesting story. Very interesting story indeed. So that's number one. Number two, the thing I wanted to bring up to everyone's attention. Now, I'm obviously in Australia. I'm in Melbourne, Australia. Basically, in Melbourne, Australia, the number one most famous UFO event was Westall. It was called Westall. Don't know if anyone's heard of Westall, the Westall UFO event. It actually happened on, the date was April 6th, which is tomorrow here in Australia. And basically it happened in a suburb of Melbourne, Clayton, Glen Waverley, Clayton, where 200 students at Westall High in 1966, students and teachers saw 3 UFO craft or unidentified craft, and they basically landed in the oval next to the little forest area next to the school. They flew around for ages. The students saw these craft. All types of crazy things happened. Teachers saw it, the whole lot. There was over 200 people saw this event. It is the 60-year anniversary of this event at Westall High. And yeah, so basically something to check out as well. The Westall High UFO event. I actually had the privilege of, or I have the privilege of knowing one of the students that was there as a young person in the high school. 100%, she said to me that 100% it definitely happened. There were disc-shaped objects, 3 of them, that moved and zipped around the sky, and yeah, couldn't believe it. So basically, you know, there's a lot of stories out there about a lot of different things about extraterrestrials and aliens. Hard to believe them all, but Westall, I 100% believe that happened. Now, that was before I was even born, 1966, April 6th. That it is 60 years tomorrow when that event happened. And, you know, I think a lot of these things are really about just awakening our own thoughts, right? Making us think more open-minded about life. You know, whether you believe in UFOs or extraterrestrials or whatever. You know, I think these experiences and events that people have gone through are really about awakening how they see life. You know, we're kept as a race, humans are kept very boxed in by our governments, the powers that be. They keep us very much focused over here, why everything's happening here. We're kind of, as much as we feel like life's free and we've got freedom to do whatever we want, we're still very controlled. And I think everyone kind of understands where I'm going with that. It's very, very controlled by a few people, right? So I want you all just to today let yourselves over the next week try to be a little bit more broader thinking, right? try to think about, you know, more expanded thoughts. You know, just because someone says that's how it is, it doesn't always mean that that's the only way to look at situations. It's important to look at all these situations from different angles, from different ways. All right. So positive mind is one thing, but the way we see things, the way we look at things, there's not one way to do it. You know, the world is very, very broad and very amazing, right? But you have to allow yourself to experience it in different ways, right? So let's get on track with how we go about things. You know, I've already had a little chat about Jesus Kristen, sorry. Yeah, Jesus was a man who was has been misrepresented by the religious groups, in my opinion. Very connected human being, connected with himself, with life, the universe, and everything. I believe was very self-empowered, and then turned into something that I don't think he wanted to be turned into from the way people look at him. But that's my opinion. Obviously, take what you like, throw out what you don't like. So, attitude. Some really interesting things going on in the world at the moment. Some really crazy, bad scenes that we're seeing out there. How you respond to things that happen in your life is the key to actually taking control of these situations for yourself, making them turn into something that's quite positive. See things from a perspective that's your positive perspective. You can have a situation that happens and four people can see the same event, yet they all get something different from it. We all need to understand that the control that we have on our own lives is about how we respond. Okay, it's not about what happens, it's about how we respond to what happens. I hope everyone takes that on, because that's probably the number one thing to creating your own reality, to understanding that what you're putting out there is what's coming back for you. You are a perfect spark of love and existence and light. You're part of the all that is. You exist. You're here. You exist with the trees and the sky and the birds and everything else, right? We're all part of the earth, the universe, existence. I don't believe our consciousness ever disappears. I believe that it goes on and we live forever, right? We transform ourselves into different beings at different times in different lifetimes to have different perspectives on how we see life and how we look at these ways of looking at life. I mean, you learn more about yourself from looking at yourself from different angles. There's no limit to where you get to. There's no point in life where you say, I've learned it all, I know it all. No one's ever going to know everything about life. That's the exciting thing about existence. It's the journey. In this life, you know, they're coming all the way from England. That's awesome. The journey of life is what it's about, embracing the journey. Embracing the journey is the most important thing that we can all do for ourselves, right? It's not about trying to change yourself because everyone else you think that everyone else wants you to be a certain type of individual, so that you're liked or fit in and all that type of stuff. It's about embracing who you are as an individual, your unique self. Like, I hear this a lot from a lot of people, but becoming more authentic, being more real with who you are, being the person that you've always been, being the person that a lot of times you think to yourself, I can't be that real me because people might think I'm a bit weird, or people might think, you know, I'm not the same as everyone else. You know, it's your uniqueness that makes you amazing, right? It's your uniqueness. Be your unique self. Believe in who you are, right? It's about you looking at yourself and being honest with yourself. You know, the number one thing that the number one terrible thing that happens with people in our world is that they lose connection with life. They don't see that there's a reason for them to go on. Disconnection is the one thing that, or the major thing that causes people to commit suicide in life, right? Finding connection is not out there in the world. Finding connection with who you are is about having a really good look at you, believing and understanding that you have the answers for you. I'm a massive believer in that, right? That each person has the answers that they need for themselves from themselves. And a lot of people have a lot of trouble getting their head around that, right? I mean, life, you came into this world by yourself. Guess what? You will leave by yourself. Your life, without being selfish, without being ego-centered, being heart-centered, your life is about you. You chose to come here, right? You chose to come here. It must be important because you chose. You chose to be here now. The only thing that exists for all of us is right now. We're living it. You guys have chosen to jump on Craigsworldrocks and have a listen to the old fella Craig have a yak about how he sees life. So for you, it must be important, right? It must be important that right now, but this is the only thing that actually exists for all of us, is this moment, is now. So embrace who you are now, right? When you look in the mirror tonight and you're brushing your teeth, thank yourself for getting yourself to where you are in your life right now. Thank yourself, because you're the person that's got yourself to where you are right now, right? Appreciate who you are. You are not less than, you are magnificent. You live forever. The lie that our world has told us all is that we're sinners, that we're less than, that there's things that are more than us, right? We're not. We're all equal. We're all a part of the all that is. We all exist together and we expand together as individual sparks of consciousness. But we are all from the same place. There is no, hatred or anger or violence towards it. There shouldn't be any of that on this planet, because every single one of us that's a human, we should love each other exactly the same, right? Like, we're all the same. We're all brothers and sisters, right? Life is about understanding who you are. You can blindly give your power away to something that you think is more than you. But when you do that, you are putting yourself down. That's a belief that I have. Like I said, life is about connecting and actually finding the answers, the truth to what life is. The truth is within yourself, right? I believe that. Okay. Money Mojo's hung out for quite a while listening to my chats. I know that Money Mojo is a very positive person, and there's many more of you on here. It's about, yeah, see, that's where I don't agree, cynical dude. We're not sinners. If negative stuff's being told to a person, right? If you're told, if you don't, right, we can dive into this if you like, and I've said this many times on my channel. If you don't do what a religious group says, if you don't believe and give yourself to Jesus or God or whatever, you will burn in hell. Well, that's pretty positive attitude, not. All right? That's ridiculous. For me, that's a red flag. That's one of the reasons I don't believe that any of us are sinners. We all learn positive, negative lessons throughout our existence, right? Who has the right to tell anyone that everything is an experience, right? I'm not here to say that you can't believe in religion and you can't be happy with that way of looking at things, but it's very limited to me, right? I understand religion. I've been there, had it, over my younger life. I understand it, but it's very fear-based. All right, you need to do what they say, or else bad things will happen. That's a red flag on the field for me. Anything in life, if someone says, if you don't do this, bad things are going to happen, they're trying to direct you in the way they want through fear. How can that be a great thing? I think you don't have to follow any organization. I think the only person in life you need to follow is you. Right? Metaphysics believes and understands that what we as individuals put out comes back to us. That what is happening around us is a reflection of who we are inside. If your life is in disarray in front of you, if you see crazy stuff going on, that is a reflection that you're not settled inside, you're not calm inside, right? We need to analyze what's going on around us to understand what's going on inside us, because everything that happens around us is a reflection of who we are. I know that might be hard for a lot of people to grab and understand, but pretty much, yeah, well, you know, it's not about giving your power away, and everything you're talking about, cynical dude, is about giving your power to someone else. Jesus didn't want you to give your power to him. He wanted you to understand that you are just as powerful as him, as an individual. That's what he was trying to teach everyone. Empower yourself. Don't give your power away to something that they're not. They don't. That doesn't do anything for you. Right? You are the center of your world. You create your own reality. And I think that's the understanding. This is the next phase from being a spiritual person and believing what you believe. There's more to it than what you've been told, everyone. And the waking up of reality, the waking up of human beings to what the truth is about who we are is what's coming. It's not the second coming of the Lord. It's the awakening of who we are. The answers of who we truly are coming, and they will come from within, right? But maybe you do. Maybe you haven't opened up to that yet, cynical. So it's all right. It's about you can believe in whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel safe and comfortable. I get that, right? And there are limitations to things that everyone believes, because a belief is a limitation, right? A belief is something that we all accept, that I'm happy to have that there because someone's told me that, or I've had an experience that's made me feel that that's real. I believe that we create our own reality. So we also create the beliefs that we put in place for ourselves, and that you have the opportunity to expand on those beliefs. You can believe more than what you believe now. In turn, when you believe more of what you do believe now, you will allow more into your world, whether that's more abundance, more love, more joy, more fun, more, more wisdom, more expansion. We put the limits on ourselves, and they're pretty much put there, right, by ourselves, because people that we've come across or been raised by, or neighbors that have been near us while we've been growing up, or teachers or whoever, they've had certain beliefs that have been put upon them, and they've passed them on. And as younger people, we've absorbed them because we haven't known any different, because we come into this world with a fresh program. We come in not as our true selves. We have blockages in our memory that don't allow us to know who we fully are when we enter this existence. Because a lot of people have asked me, why do we come into this world not knowing? Why do we come in like not remembering that we've lived 1,000 lifetimes? Well, if you want to live a life and experience it as it's, at its most excitable level, don't you want to not have a memory of doing things before? Because if you've ever thought about the things that you experience when they're the first time in your life that you do something, the excitement that comes over you when you experience something for the first time, right? So basically you want to actually have the experience of the first time. And that's basically what I think the reason that we do it. But we reawaken to who we are as we go through the life, or we have an opportunity to do so. I mean, you can look at many tens of thousands of people that have had near-death experiences. You can look at many people that have had past life regressions. I mean, there are many stories out there about people that have opened up to memories and so on from the past. Now, again, if you've never had that experience, you're going to have trouble to believe that that's possible. I don't logically think that one lifetime is all we ever live, because when you look at a life, what about the people that live for 2 weeks and then they die? Is that the only life they get? That doesn't sit logically with me. I think that I think people live different lifetimes and different stretches to help we help each other. Hey Cooper, how you going, mate? We help each other learn the lessons we're going to learn. So you might have friends that go, look, I'll be your baby that doesn't make it past a month, and you can go through the grieving process of losing a baby after it's been alive for a month. I know that sounds wild, right? But I believe that we all do these things for each other to actually learn these lessons, to experience these experiences. People want, us as individuals want to have experiences. We want to have, we want to learn things. We want to experience life. It expands us. It makes us more of who we are. How do we know ourselves fully if we don't learn and experience ourselves from many different aspects? I don't think one lifetime cuts it. I don't think it's logical. And a lot of the things that I've been through in my life, I've tested those boundaries for myself. I've proven my beliefs to myself. They're not blind faith beliefs that I have. They are things that I've proven over and over again. When I put out that I like simple things, right? But I can put out a projection where I might be going to the local supermarket and I know it's a busy Saturday morning and I want a car park out the front because I'm running short of time. I'll put a projection out that I need that car park, and I'll roll up and a car will come out and I'll go and I get that spot straight away. And I can't tell you how many times I've done that. Your beliefs allow you to create your own reality, but what you believe allows you to create as much as your belief allows. So once you understand that, once you believe that, then it's a matter of looking and understanding your own beliefs, right? When you act a certain way in a certain situation, it is because you believe that's the right way to act, yeah? But let's say you act in a negative way and you catch yourself acting like that. Now, I know we all do things, but most of the time, people don't actually catch themselves with how they're acting. Most of the time, people are caught up in their emotional state and they're acting emotionally, they're responding emotionally, and they don't actually step back from themselves to realize if how they're acting at that time is a good thing. Sometimes we reflect later, sometimes we think, nah, that was all right. But if you want to change a belief in you, it's about having a reflection on how that belief resonates in your life, right? You need to decide. See, it's not about going, okay, that particular way that I acted, if you like that, if you thought that was okay, you're not going to change that belief because you think it's okay. It's still might not be positive, but you're not going to change it because you think it's okay. You decide whether you like the way you act. Now, if you don't like a certain way that you're acting, if you catch yourself acting in a situation in a certain way, that's because there's a belief there that maybe not so good. Maybe Auntie Joy said something to you when you were a kid and you believe because they used to act that way, you started to act that way. But when you hear yourself act that way in a certain situation, you can decide whether that stays or not. See, the day that you decide, I don't really like acting like that and I want to change it, That's when your negative belief is let go, because you decide what you believe and what you don't believe, yeah? So get your reflections happening, right? Start to pay attention to how you act. Start to pay attention, because it's up to you. It's up to you how you act. You're in control of that, right? Even if you think that you're not. Even if you think that it's not you that makes those decisions, you do, right? You can consciously take control of how you act. Your beliefs dictate, in most cases, how you act, right? Chicken nuggets, how you going, mate? Good to see you hanging out. You can't control how you act. Well, we'll agree to disagree, okay? I really, let's say it this way, chicken nugget. Let's say it this way, that you're emotionally, when emotions take over, it can be hard to control how you act in an emotional situation, right? But when you understand what is the belief that is driving that response, you then have a choice whether you want to keep acting like that or not. Like, just because everyone around you acts like a dickhead, does it mean you have to act like a dickhead? No. You can choose to be better, right? We can all choose to be better. 966, I'm Australian, mate, if you're asking that about me. Melbourne, Australia, my friend. Donka Sanova, how you going? Is the yes, okay. So your beliefs are changeable. That's what I'm trying to tell all you guys, right? If you think it's set in stone, if you think that, you can't change how you act, you can't change how you think, well, I'm here to tell you you can, right? And it is about, and if emotions are uncontrollable, if a person's emotions control them and get the better of them, then there's serious things that need to be looked at within yourself, right? In the sense that you don't want to not be in control of you. The only person in life that you actually can 100% control is you, and you do. But most of us do things without realizing that we're actually making stuff happen in our own worlds, right? Everyone else is in charge of their own world, is creating their own reality. You're creating your own reality. If you want your reality to transform for the better, you need to let go of negative beliefs that are creating negative in your life. Oh, that's a shame, chicken nuggets. So negative things that are going on are most likely because you have a negative belief in your own level of beliefs that run around with you. And looking at yourself, thanks, Money Mojo, looking at yourself in the mirror, right? Having a good, hard look at who you are and being authentic and honest about who you are is the only way you're going to be able to make a decision whether you like everything about you, right? Because you don't have to change a damn thing. You really don't. But nothing else will change in your world if you don't change anything, right? Can I have money? Big dog, you can create money, mate. If you want to create money, you go for it. You have to believe that you deserve more money in your reality. That's it. It's a belief, right? Money's an energy. It'll come to you if you feel that it's a very important thing. And understand, when you create your own reality, it's not about what you want. If you want to 100% create something, you've really got to need it. Wanting something, yeah, you can create through want, but you don't really own it when you create it. Okay? So going to create something that you actually need in your life to do things that you want to do that are coming from the heart. That's what it's about. It's connecting with what you need, guys. It's being an authentic individual. It's about listening to yourself. It's about, you know, there you go, AFM. AFM, you create what you need. And if you're satisfied with what you have, then you don't need anything, do you? So it's about being the best version of yourself you can be. Just be happy with who you are. I mean, attitude, feeling good about yourself, feeling connected that you've come to live this life for a positive reason for you, that you wanted to, experience the world through the eyes of who you are. I mean, for me, that's what life is. It's the journey, right? It's being positive, right? Hey, can of Coke, how you going, mate? It's been a little while. I hope everything's going well. Good to see you. So I'm gonna jump back onto a couple of the main keys now to what I believe are the 3 keys to creating what you want. You can have a beer chicken nugget. I'm very partial to the odd American bourbons myself. Once in a while, I love to partake in a little Jack Daniels or something along those lines. So it has nothing to do with whether you want to have a drink or a smoke or whatever, mate. I mean, it's about our attitudes, right? Because any substance or drinking that we do usually opens ourselves up to who we are more. We can't keep the walls up as much, so the walls come down. But the attitude you have and being more positive about yourself is the key that I talk about. The other things are just, hey, you want to hang out with your mates and have a couple of drinks? No worries, mate. All good. But. Nice, my friend, nice. Each person can be who they want to be, everyone. You can be who you want to be. As long as you're not, hey, happy birthday, Shaman. How you going, mate? As long as I'm not going out there trying to hurt other people or control other people, live your life to the fullest. When other people are trying to control us, that's when my bloody beep, beep, beep radar comes on, right? People shouldn't try and force their shit onto you, right? It's about taking your power back for you. It's about being the best version of yourself for you. Like attracts like in life. So, you're friends with your friends because, hey, we've got similar things that we're into, right? That's a real important thing to understand, right? And if you want to have more different people in your life or you're not happy with who you're attracting, it's usually a sign that there are things you need to probably change within yourself so you can attract different people that are doing the things that you want to do, right? You create your own reality. You create the person who you want to be. Your attitude is everything, right? Your attitude is what you're putting out to the world. That's what you're creating. So I want to say the 3 things that people do every day that create their own reality, because you don't create anyone else's, only yours. Number 1 is your thoughts. What you think goes a long way to creating your own reality. What you think. Hey, Roadstrom, how you going? How you going, mate? I hope you've been going all right. I'm just doing my Sunday nights at the moment. Mate, you want to do some offline gambling, big dog? No worries, mate. Happy days, right? So what you think, hey, Azumi, how you going? What you think is the number 1 thing that is the beginning of creating your own reality. If you think a lot of negative things, that's going to help a lot of negative things manifest in your world. You don't want to do that. You want to be clearing away the negative beliefs so you think more positive on a daily basis, right? Well, if you're in Melbourne, mate, we've got Crown Casino in there, plenty of gambling going on there. All those things for me, chicken nuggets, it's entertainment, mate. The house always wins, right? So do understand that if you're a gambler, the house always wins. Do it for fun and gamble responsibly. Oh, and I have no sponsors, but please don't gamble your house, right? The house always wins. The first thing to creating your own reality is what you're thinking like, your mind, right? Being positive in the mind. Second thing, number 2, to the secrets to manifesting your world, what you say, because this is an extension of your thoughts. A lot of people think things, never say them, right? If you want to create things in your world, to bringing them through the system, let's say, the thoughts and the expression, that's the second step to grounding that into your world, because you're living in a physical world. You're living in a physical world, guys, right? You've been watching the moon mission? No, not a lot. I hope others have, but a little bit, but not a lot. Okay. Thanks, Kurt. Obviously, not interested. The third step, right? So when it comes to creating your own reality, your thoughts, your words, and then it's your actions, right? So I believe that we are living in a physical world, yes, but the physical world has been created by ourselves. And that often blows a lot of people away to think like that. There's a lot of people out there that believe it's a kind of simulation. Yep, it's physical, right? We're all physical. We're all living this existence in a physical world. But it's almost like we're on I'm an Aussie, little Tesla, little Tesla. Yeah, Aussie, Melbourne, Australia. Yeah, so we basically are living in a simulation that we've created ourselves to experience life in a physical form, right? So if you want to change something or understand how you change things, you can learn that in this reality, because it's changeable. Everything changes. Change happens constantly, but it has to be done in the physical realm that we've created, which in turn is actions, right? Which are your actions. That's the final step. So thinking about something that you need, speaking about something that you need, and then acting like you've got what you need, going down the direction or the path of, I'm going to go after that, right? These are the 3 major things that, create your own reality. Yeah. So, basically with this world, those things work. But you won't manifest everything that you try and do when your beliefs are within what you're asking for. So if your beliefs are limiting, if you believe that, if you ask yourself a question, let's use this example, and you say, I want to create something in right now, right? I want to create it right now. I want it to happen. Bang. And your brain goes, that's not possible. Your belief doesn't believe it. So I want to create this particular thing in a month. And your mind straight away goes, nah, that's too short a time. Then if I want to create that particular thing in a year, and your mind goes, oh, I reckon I can. Then there's your belief. With whatever you're trying to manifest, it's going to take you a year, because that's what you believe it will take, because of all the different things that happen, right? All the different things that you believe go along to creating that belief, right? So You will only let happen what you believe is possible, right? Bill DeSmet, that's fine. You can say whatever you like, mate, but I'm certainly not gay. I've been in a relationship for 30 years with 2 grown-up sons, very heterosexual, and you're looking at my reflection opposite. My earrings are in my left ear. And if a person is gay, that is fucking awesome. All right, AFM, no problem. Every single person can be who they want to be. That's what Craigsworldrocks is about, right? And it's not about your race. It's not about your sexual orientation. It's not about any of that, everyone. We are all humans. We are all from the same place, and we all are heading back to the same place when this life is over. And if you've never thought about that, I suggest you think about that, because it's an important thing to think about. Life is important. You know, it's all right to have a laugh about stuff, but, you know, at the end of the day, maybe you won't be laughing so much at yourself in the mirror when the time comes, right? Maybe you'll feel like you've let yourself down, that you didn't have a full-on crack at your life. And I do this live chat because I do it for me, because I learn a lot by hearing myself speak about what I believe, right? This is about what I believe. At the end of the day, it doesn't really affect me at all if anyone out there wanted to even listen. I'm very pleased that a lot of people like how I speak about life. I'm being my authentic self. Can you people online say that you're all being your authentic selves? I hope that you can. But many of you aren't. Many of you are wasting your life doing stuff all. I mean, life's important, right? Yeah. Well, that's a very nice comment to make, my friend. You know, worries. We just want to be honest. I just want people to have an honest think about who they are. You know, are you happy with who you are? Because I'm not a religious guy, right? I am about helping people to understand that they have the power to transform their lives for themselves, right? That they have a say. You all have a say in your lives. I believe that 110%. I've proven it over and over again over my life, right? It's about having a good look at you, because life is not about anyone else but you. You're either ready to do that or you're not ready to do that. It's okay if you're not ready to do that, right? We're all on our own individual pathways, our journeys in life. We are all existing and going down our own pathways. Well, I'm not English, mate. I'm an Aussie. We're all going down our pathways. So you all need answers for yourselves, right? That's why I have the comment, take what you like, chuck out what you don't like, right? It's about taking the things that you hear and just taking the things that make sense. You're not going to accept everything that someone else says. You're going to have your own beliefs, right? You just need, thank you, Christina, you just need answers for yourself. You know, you just need answers for yourself. And that's what we all should be doing. We all should be listening to lots of different things, but taking the things that sit with us. Just take the things that sit that answer the question that you need at that point in time, right? And that's all I'm putting out there for you guys. You do have a say. The powers that be that control this planet, the powers that be, they don't have control over us. You all have a say in your lives, whether you realize it fully or not. But be brave with life. Be open-minded, right? Ask questions. You're more than what you realize. You're all amazing beings of light and love. You really are. Every single one of you. And I know a lot of people go, that's pretty heavy, but we're sparks of existence, right? We are sparks of existence. And I believe that. people that have listened to me before would have heard me say that I've been out of my physical body twice in this lifetime. So I've experienced my energy body. We exist more than just the physical. We are more than just the physical. We go on. 100% we go on, right? And you know, it's not about having someone else believe everything that you say or you think. It's about, there's a lot tonight, Roadstrom. Yeah, mate, they're bouncing around. There's a lot of activity. But look, you know, yeah, we can, there's so much stuff rolling through, isn't there? But yeah, it's not political. I don't want us to talk politically. I want us to basically focus on who we are. All right. I want everyone just to go, you know what? Am I ignoring you, chicken nuggets? Stop ignoring. What have you been saying? Well, I've been ignoring you, Craig. Yes, yes, yes. Sorry, mate. There's a lot coming up on my screen, my friend. So I should help things. Well, spamming. Yeah. Ask the question again, chicken nugget. Sonja Denise, no worries, mate. You take care of yourself. Yeah. Hey, Wong, how you going, mate? I do remember you. What do we got here? Can we have a beer? Well, Mr. Chicken Nuggets, probably not at the moment. You never know in the future, mate. You never know. Now, okay, no worries. This is not the place for that. Hang on. Climb out. There you go. No, actually, I'm mucking around here. There's a lot of what have we got going on here? It's very distracting, isn't it? What do you got? Yeah. So my conversations, my YouTube channel, everyone, I'm talking about life, the universe, and everything, right? Open your minds up, if you can, to being more positive about who you are. You can change. Yeah, there's a lot of trolls on Sunday night tonight. You guys really have not much going on in your lives, do you? It's funny. Yeah, but that's all right. I'm only interested in people here that are interested in, you know, thinking about their lives. That, you know, I want to remind everyone that, you know, there's a lot of things in the world at the moment that are worrying everyone. I mean, petrol prices, all those different things that everyone's worrying about, conflict overseas. Yep, it's all no good. But control what you can control. And you can't control the world stage and what's going on a huge level, but you can control how you react, respond, and how you exist. That's what it's about, AFM, and, you know, reminding ourselves that the one thing that you can, okay, Mr. Multi, see you later. The one thing that you actually have a say in is what goes on in your life, right? If you talk extremely well to other people, you'll find that they'll appreciate it and they'll come back with the same in-kind response, right? If you act like a dick, you're going to get people acting like a dick back at you. It's as simple as that. What you put out is what comes back. Take responsibility. Yeah, mate, we're not having a beer chicken nuggets, all right? Because that's it. I'm glad you're not, mate. But I want you guys and girls to think about how you act within your life, right? It actually makes a huge difference. It'll make a huge difference in your individual lives if you're open to trying to be better people, right? Be the people that you want to be. Treat people the way you want to be treated, right? The world, people talk about the world being stuffed, right? So negative. It's so the attitude, blah, 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 right? All right. But we want to basically put out and take control of what we can do, right? As an individual, I could act like a complete twat as well. I could treat people badly just like many other people do. I mean, there's people breaking into people's cars, there's people stealing petrol from people's cars, there's people breaking into people's houses and bashing elderly. There's horrific stuff going on out there at the moment. And it's just unacceptable. These people that think they have the right to go around and actually force what they want onto others, it's atrocious, right? It's terrible. They're terrible situations. People need to take ownership of how they act out there, right? What they're doing. Don't blame the world. Don't blame everything on someone else. It's not about anyone else. It's about you. If you want to see the world transform, hey Carlos, how you going? If you want to see the world transform for the better, then work on your world first, right? Work on your world first. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Teach the people you care about, how to be the best versions of their self. And that's the best that any of us could do. But there's, I will say, there's a lot of trollers on tonight, everyone. And that's not what my chat is about. If you're interested in understanding a little bit about how to transform your life for the better, absolutely come and hang out on Craigsworldrocks. Have a listen to Craig. I will give you my opinion on lots of these things, right? As I have tonight early on. If you're going to act like a complete tosser, your comments will be blocked. And that's it. So, but yeah, so what's with the earrings? Well, I've had the earrings since I was about 18 years old, mate. So I guess they've just stayed there. It's amazing how my couple of earrings bother so many people. One silver, one gold. Yin and yang, everyone. Balance. Masculine, feminine energy, balance. Yeah. So attitude, guys. Just, if you're going to take anything from what I talk about, I hope that you take on the fact that if you are authentically living your life, if you're not lying to yourself, because a lot of us think that we're being good people when in fact we don't always act as good people. And acting as someone that's authentic, acting with the best attitude, right? Mate, you subscribe and whatever, AMF, and you can catch me when I'm doing my chats, mate. You're welcome anytime. Appreciate you, mate. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, so, well, my and that's right, Sarah. I mean, regardless of what a belief of a person is, regardless of what you believe is true and that in your life, it is your attitude that counts, right? I mean, let's face it, there's been many religious people do extremely bad things to other people over the years, and all that crap's come out. And like I said, if a person has religious beliefs, that's okay, right? So, we'll just block another troller there. That's okay. But how can authentically when you're acting is not authentic? When you say that Are we talking about me? How can one act authentically when you are acting? When you are acting, it's not authentic. It's an act. Well, what I'm doing is not an act. What I'm doing is genuine. I'm being my true self. These are the things that I believe, and I've proven these things to myself, Darren, and that's it, mate. I mean, if you're talking about yourself, well, yeah, it's a tough one. Being authentic is being truthful to yourself, right? Treating people the way you want to be treated, not saying one thing and then doing another. You know, there's many people in life that I've met that do that. They speak a good talk, but then their actions don't back it up, right? People can live authentic lives if they choose to. Because I understand for myself and believe that individuals create their own reality, I see that it's an important thing to be doing, being authentic, because it affects me, right? Like if I don't act authentically, then I'm the one that it's going to affect. What I'm putting out is coming back on me. What I do is not about anyone else out there. It's about, yeah. And trollers, geez, I'm getting tired of blocking their comments, but life goes on, right? If you want to see your life change for the better and you want to help friends and family change their lives for the better, work on being better versions of yourself. That's what I say to you all. I don't know, big dog, mate. Bit weird, isn't it? I'm an Aussie from Melbourne, Australia. Been here my whole life, father of two grown-up boys, and speaking my truth, right? That's what it's about. Each person should speak their truth. If you're working from the heart, if you're being genuine, right? I'm into meditation. I'm into crystals. I'm into positive attitude because I believe, for one, what you're putting out is what's coming back. I've proved it to myself over and over again in my life. So many people have never ever been told that. They think that some being out there is making everything happen to them, which for me is crazy, right? That makes no sense to me, right? And that's what led me to discover that there was a different group of people in the world that believe they create their own reality. And so I found connection in that when I was younger, and I started to investigate those things. That's it. Perth is the best city in Australia. Perth is a beautiful city. Is it the best city in Australia? Well, Melbourne was voted number one, my friend. So what can you say about that? And it really doesn't bother me. But, everyone's coming to Melbourne. I don't know why. I mean, my friend Roadstrom in Brisbane, he wants to put a wall up between us and Queensland, but that's another story altogether. Canberra, which one's better? Canberra or Sydney? Well, Canberra is the capital of Australia, so it has to be Sydney then, yeah? Canberra doesn't have that much in it. Blogsy chimes in with Thornbury. Very nice. Very nice indeed. But yeah, guys, look, attitude is everything. Change your attitude. Take responsibility for how you behave, right? Like, we can all act crazy and childlike and stupid, right? But that doesn't really create the things that you want to create as an adult, right? So to start to really bring more positive things into your world as an adult, you need to take ownership of your life, right? You need to really start putting out positive thoughts, believing that you deserve to have these things in your life, right? Realizing that if you have a belief that's really limiting, decide that you don't want to believe that anymore. Let it go and believe something new. Believe something more, right? Your beliefs are the walls that you put up that allow you to create what you want in your world. If your beliefs are too limiting, you won't create outside them. Right? And tonight, that's been my probably number one message again, right? It's just really, you have to get into the reflection of who you are. You have to know who you are. You have to look in the mirror and be authentic and honest about who you are, right? Who the hell is Fred Bloggs? Look in that mirror and say, okay, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. And if you're happy with all those things, then you continue to go forward. If one of those things that you do in your life and you go, I really aren't that great in that area, or I really don't like how I act when it comes to that type of stuff, you can choose to change it. No one's going to magically change anything or create anything for you. It's about what you choose to create for yourself. Take ownership of your worlds. You are all amazing, right? Okay. I think I can. Are we talking about a can of Coke? And do you go to church? No clips, I don't, mate. I've got other things to do. I'd rather go on a walk in the bush, mate, and experience life. Yeah. Life is about living, everyone. Mike Oxmole. Okay. I don't know. Who's Mike Oxmole play guitar with? Who's he play guitar with? I might be totally missing the beat here, but no. Yeah. Look, again, I say it. I'm not a religious guy. I understand it. I understand religion, but all right, sweet as Dave, I will. I'm not a religious guy. People that are comfortable in their lives with religion, that's fine for them. I don't like people that pump their belief onto someone that you have to follow this or you have to believe in it because otherwise bad things will happen to you. That's a form of fear, control through fear. And I'll never agree. I'll never believe that and I'll never agree with it. I understand it, but it doesn't sit with me. How do I not know? Well, I don't know everything, Dave. Come on, man. I'll look it up, all right? Yeah, so what can I say? Everyone needs to take ownership of their own space, right? Of their own lives. Take ownership, right? Is there someone you can ask? No, mate, no, there's not. Well, little Chucky's a big believer in Jesus. That's okay, mate. Just, this isn't the place to preach it, though. So you can say it once, but then that's it. It is about us. It's not an ego thing to focus on you and to be a better person. It's a self-worth, self-esteem thing that people need to Dixon Cider. Well, you know what, Dave? I'm into music, but I don't know the band Dixon Cider, so you'll have to be upset with me then because I don't know that. So that's why I don't know him either. But there you go. I'll check him out. All right, I'll check him out. But it's attitude is absolutely important, and how you respond to situations that come up. There will be, I believe, some crazy situations. Hey, fellow Aussie here. Hey, Remy, how are you, mate? Good to see you again. There's going to be some really wild stuff happen this year, I believe, across the world, across the globe. Things that I think probably rock a lot of people in general. But it is not about what happens. It is about how you respond to what happens. That's the important thing. Also. Well, Dave, tell me this: what type of music do they play? What genre of music is that? Because I'm into heavy metal. I'm into, all the glam stuff from the '90s, all that stuff. I was into all that stuff, mate. But Aussie rock, hello, user. How you going, mate? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, Luke. I don't think there's going to be, the war's not going to escalate, mate. Jesus. Okay. All right, little Chucky, that's your last warning. Yes, Remy, I do, mate. I really do. Okay, got you now, Dave. Very good, mate. Funny, good stuff. So I want to say, when it comes to your daily things that you should try and do for yourself, I highly recommend taking a few minutes of every day. The time in Oz is about 10 to 9. No, what is it on my thing? 14 minutes to 9 p.m. No, I've taken out a few kangaroos in my time. Kangaroos are nasty, nasty beasts. Really, they're almost like they're all not reptilian, but I'll say dinosaur-like in their strength. You never, if a kangaroo ever rocks back on its tail, run, right? Remy, I remember you, mate. No worries. I don't have 10,000 people coming on my thing, so probably helps me. But no, I know you, Remy. That's all good, mate. Appreciate you hanging out. It is 8:46. That's correct. Yeah. No, we have inside plumbing, Luke. What part of the world are you from, mate? We're up to date. We've got technology. Look, we've got phones. Aussies are not that Neanderthal. We're not all indigenous. Hi, Lola. Lola, how you going? All right. So, yeah, a few silly comments coming through. I mean, like, guys, like, if you want to troll, go somewhere else and troll. I really don't care about that crap. We're trying to have some serious conversations here. If you're not serious about listening to someone talk real stuff, then on your way. There's been a lot of trolls on tonight. A lot of people that are just interested in talking rubbish, and I ain't got time for that. You're still on a mud hut. What part of the world you in, Luke? Answer the question. Yeah. I know. Dave's not here. That's what it is. So, so I'm just stuffing around now. UK, mate. Well, I hope it's warm over there, but I've got a feeling it's not, because it'd be winter, right? Yeah, well, Dave, you're not here, mate. So, single A battery. You're in Australia. Happy days, mate. Welcome aboard. Ools, my name. Thank you, Ools. Appreciate you. I talk a lot about taking ownership of your life. I know I do. But it is important, right? At this time in the world, I think there's going to be a lot of things that happen over the next year to 2 years, and I think it is going to be important for us to know who we are. Interesting to yourself, right? To know who you are as a human being. And it's important. I think at any point in your life, it is something that a lot of people realize that there is an importance in really understanding who you are, how you tick, what you believe, and not just blindly go forward, you know, acting however you act because, you know, everyone in your street acts that way, right? You have to listen to who you are on the inside. You have to make an effort, I think, to connect with who you want to be, right? If you actually could prove to yourselves that you create your own reality and you do it 100%, that what you put out there is what came back. I mean, what would you all want to create in your life? I mean, that's it. Because I'm telling you that you can do that. But if you never try it, if you never take control of what you think, if you never take control of what you say, if you just speak empty words because everyone else is saying the same thing, if you don't go after the things that are in your heart, if you don't go after the things in your life that you're passionate about, how are you going to transform your life into something better? How are you going to become more of who you want to be? Right? For me, that's life. You know, everyone should be trying to be the best version of themselves they can be. Because if you're doing things that you love to do, life's more enjoyable anyway. And most people miss the point. They'll do something just because they feel they have to, and then life becomes a chore. Right? That's right, Remy. We all swear in Australia. We all swear. We were brought up rough. Oh, you swear you're in Australia, so I didn't even read that properly. I know you're in Australia. That's all good, mate. But I tell you what, those koalas are dangerous bears, aren't they? And they just drop out of the trees and try and claw your eyes out. Those koalas, they look happy and fluffy, but you have to watch out for them when you walk under overhanging branches. But on that note, everybody, come to Australia because we're the greatest country in the world and we've got lots of interesting animals to check out, some deadlier than others. No, it's all good. And we like to stuff around at times too and have just as much fun as anyone else. I tell you what, everybody, I've had a good chat with you all tonight. Pork chop in the afternoon. Oh my goodness, what a name. I told you I have a smell. That's the lip priest. Well, no. Well, actually, pork chop, I have once before. It was moments ago when pork chop in the afternoon said it. That's the first time. I appreciate all of you. If you haven't subscribed and to my channel, feel free to. I will jump on at times outside of Sunday night, but Sunday night, 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time, I'm jumping on regularly on a Sunday night here in Melbourne, Australia, so that there's a regular time slot. There will be other times where I'll just jump on randomly live. Obviously, you know, with life, the universe and everything, there's many things going on. Of late, I haven't been on as much as normal, but I will guarantee that I come on at least on Sunday nights and have that chat. So I'm here. I think the way I think. I hope you all appreciate that. Craig's World Rocks. I want to say to all of you, your world rocks too. Start to believe in yourselves, right? Start to believe in it, all right? Appreciate you all. You have a good night, everyone. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll see you soon.